I've got a special announcement for anyone with investment real estate, a residential rental property in the Raleigh, Durham area. Blue Chariot Management is here. I'm sure you've heard my prior brief mentions of hiring me and Blue Chariot to manage your rental property here in the Triangle area of North Carolina, which includes Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, Cary, and the smaller surrounding cities up to about an hour in all directions. Until now, we've been slowly taking on clients mostly from referrals, but today is the official launch of Blue Chariot Management.
Husband, father, entrepreneur, realtor, a long list of other titles and descriptions, and landlord. Welcome to the And Landlord podcast with me, Jonathan Taylor Smith, also known as JT, following a roadmap to financial freedom through residential rental real estate. Welcome to the And Landlord podcast, and Lord podcast. Here you'll learn how adding and landlord to the litany of titles and descriptions that speak to who you are and what you do may be the greatest opportunity to achieve financial freedom, where someone else pays the bills, the tenant, and someone else provides 80% or more of the money, the bank, and where you get 100% of the cash flow, all the appreciation, and the tax benefits on an asset insured against losses that cannot be worth zero short of alien invasion or the zombie apocalypse, ultimately resulting in a free house that will kick out cash flow for the rest of your life and beyond. You try getting any of that from the stock market or your 401k. So be all that you are and landlord. Let's do it.
Welcome to a special episode, number 12. Elevate your real estate investment, introducing Blue Chariot Management. Now, the And Landlord Rental Real Estate Investing podcast is all about following a roadmap to financial freedom through residential real estate investing, rental properties. To that end, of course, I seek to teach about real estate in general, but since it's rental real estate, naturally, I also seek to teach how to be a landlord, the best you can be. But the name And Landlord originates from the full title, as mentioned in the intro you just heard, husband, father, entrepreneur, realtor, a long list of other titles and descriptions, and landlord. And as such, certain special episodes, like this one, will touch on some of those other aspects of who I am and what I do. So today's episode serves as an announcement for my latest entrepreneurial endeavor that also relates to my being a realtor, a requirement here in North Carolina to be a property manager, Blue Chariot Management. Since I started Blue Chariot back in 2015, it has grown to become many things, the latest of which is Blue Chariot Management. Let's start with the website. Go to bluechariot.management, not .com. .management. Although you can get there from bluechariot.com, instead go directly to bluechariot.management. This is where you can learn and inquire about Blue Chariot's property management services. In prior and coming episodes of the And Landlord podcast, I have and will continue to give insight into tools and tips for effectively managing your investment rental property on your own. But being able to do something yourself does not mean that it's always the best use of your time. As such, you can now hire me and the Blue Chariot Management team to manage your investment rental property on your behalf, if located in the Raleigh, Durham area of North Carolina. That's why, in addition to introducing Blue Chariot Management, the title of this episode is Elevate Your Real Estate Investment, which is exactly what having Blue Chariot Management take over your investment rental property will do for you. If you've not already, I invite you to listen to episode number 8, Don't Let Vacancy Kill Your Rental Cash Flow, and episode number 9, rental property advertising, how to make your rental home stand out from the crowd. In these 2 episodes, I demonstrate how to avoid vacancy, which is one of the largest expenses you'll suffer as a landlord, while your rental property sits empty between tenants. In these, I also touch on how to lessen the frequency and cost of tenant turnover, another major expense for landlords. So elevate your real estate investment by hiring a property manager who knows how to get the most attention for your now or soon to be vacant rental property, and who further knows how to screen tenants and handle tenancy to result in a long-term occupant who treats the home with care, causes no problems, and pays their rent on time. To this end, listen to episode number 11, Make Sure Your Lease Protects Your Assets, where I mention your lease can be a sword and shield to protect your rental investment. Having an effective lease that covers common occurrences and a property manager who knows how to leverage it for tenant screening, handling, and communication is a large part of how a long-term, problem-free tenancy is created, which all goes a long way towards avoiding not just vacancy, but also damage to your property and costly tenant turnovers. Further, Blue Chariot Management provides you with all the reports and data that you'll need to know just how well your real estate investment is performing, including all that your accountant will need for annual tax filings. Blue Chariot Management services include marketing your rental vacancy, tenant screening, leasing and onboarding, rent collection, property maintenance, financial reporting, and handling of all tenant communications, notices, lease violations, and more, and if ever needed, eviction handling, although our systems, policies, and procedures are implemented so as to make that a highly unlikely outcome. Prior to offering property management myself, I've been asked by other investors what they should look for in a property manager and what questions they should ask. Well, it's a bit self-serving, granted, but were I a rental property investor seeking to outsource my property management, I'd want to go with someone who is also an investor themselves, who owns and manages their own rental properties. One of the benefits of having your property managed by Blue Chariot Management is that your property will become a Blue Chariot property, treated no different than my own. I have a client rental property listed for rent right now with no interior pictures shown. Yet when broadcast to my list of people who have previously inquired about one of my rental properties, interest has been very high, and it's likely I'll have it rented prior to even posting interior pictures or conducting showings, because those familiar with Blue Chariot already know what to expect from a Blue Chariot property. The brand itself becomes a powerful marketing tool, helping to promote higher rents and less vacancy. And since these people have already been in contact with us previously, they already know how Blue Chariot properties are managed. So you can elevate your real estate investment by having your rental property become a Blue Chariot property. As a Blue Chariot Management client, everything you've heard me say to date here on the Landlord podcast, and that I will say going forward, will be put to work for your rental property to elevate it to the highest level of profitable performance. And as a realtor with Blue Chariot Realty, if you ever wish to sell your property or buy another, we can represent you there also. In fact, if you're an investor like me who buys distressed properties to make them into rentals, you can have no better team member to help you evaluate and acquire properties and get them quickly rehabbed into cash flow positive rentals. We're even able to help you secure financing for your purchase and then manage the rehab on your behalf, right through tenant placement and refinance. That's what I do for my own properties, so I can certainly help you in doing the same. So nothing more lengthy for today's episode. I just wanted to officially announce Blue Chariot Management and make it known that we are now offering professional rental property management in the Raleigh, Durham, Triangle area of North Carolina. Check out the website at bluechariot.management, not .com, but .management, and we can be reached by phone at 844-YES-BLUE. That's 844-937-2583. If you have a rental property in Durham, Raleigh, Cary, Chapel Hill, or any of the smaller cities within an hour in all directions that is or is soon to be vacant, reach out to us and get a free rental analysis and a quote for our services. If you have an occupied rental that you'd like for us to take over and the tenant will be remaining, that may also be possible. We have done that on occasion. However, at this point, our focus is on placing our own tenants. A lot goes into tenant placement and training them to do things a certain way and setting expectations. So taking over an existing tenant does not always work as well, depending on how things were handled previously. Right now, Blue Chariot Management is focused on single-family and small multifamily homes, and as we go along, we'll move into larger multifamily only as we invest in our own properties of that larger size, as that's really a different animal altogether. Also, we'll eventually offer services in other markets. However, for now, we wish to expand solely in the Raleigh, Durham area. Growth in multiple markets is a long-term goal for Blue Chariot, but there's no hurry, so we wish to grow here at home before expanding to other markets. Again, please check out bluechariot.management, and please also excuse my pretty face near the bottom of the homepage.
Thank you for listening to the And Landlord podcast with me, Jonathan Taylor Smith, by Blue Chariot Media, following a roadmap to financial freedom through residential rental real estate. You can find the podcast website and blog at andlandlord.com. The main company site is bluechariot.com. If you've received any value from this podcast, help me please to make it available to others, and make sure you don't miss an episode by subscribing and posting your 5-star rating, plus share it on social media. I welcome your comments on the blog, and if you'd like to share your landlord horror story or have a comment or suggestion for the show, call 844-USA-BLUE and enter extension 263, which spells "and" on your keypad, as in "and landlord," and leave a message. It may be used on a coming show. Thank you. Be all that you are. And landlord.
Nothing on the preceding show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for personal advice. The comments and opinions of any guest are their own. Information is not guaranteed. Any investment may have potential for both profit and loss. The host is speaking solely on behalf of Blue Chariot Media, LLC.